Hey guys, Kev here, and I wanted to briefly talk about what is dropping this week. We have 3 really cool knives dropping this week. I've done videos on them leading up to this, but I wanted to have sort of a drop week video like I did last week. And there's also one other sort of EDC item that I have in that I just really think is cool. It's a little different, but anyway, we shall talk about it. The first knife dropping is actually one of my knives with Divo Knives, and that is the Divo Nip Lite. So this is dropping today, actually, Thursday, August 15th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And it'll be dropping on our website at DivoKnives.com and at TraditionalPocketKnives.com, White Mountain Knives, and Blade Binge. They each have an exclusive version, and then we have 3 versions available directly through us. I have a whole video going over the versions and everything, so I'm not going to sit here and bore you guys with all the details again. We also have hardware kits on our website, but I'll quickly run through the versions, and then I'll move on to the next one. This is Black G10 and a stonewashed 154 CM blade. These all are $99 retail. You can use the code LeftyEDC at any of the websites for a 10% discount. You can also use other YouTuber codes at those various websites if you wish. And if you're watching and you have a channel and a link, feel free to leave the code in the comments. But yeah, stonewash collar, black hardware and backspacer, black wire clip, very short, low profile wire clip. And this one is meant to be sort of a user finish version of the knife. They all have a beautiful hollow ground 154 CM blade, great little slicey 5th pocket knife. So that'll be available on our website. We also have a gray aluminum, so hard anodized aluminum with purple collars and backspacer, black hardware and clip, and then you have black washed 154 CM. It is a PVD coating. And again, you have that beautiful hollow grind. And I'll say the G10 is a little bit lighter than the aluminum. This one's probably like 2 ounces, and this one's like 2.5 or 2.2, 2.5, something like that. These are all very snappy, fun little knives to flick. I've really enjoyed them. I did notice during QC, it seemed like the gray aluminum one had the strongest out of the detents. So if that's something that matters to you, this might be a version you want to look at. They're all good. They're all good. This one just happened to have stronger ones consistently. And that might be something you like or don't like. But it is something with Kubi I've noticed with black wash blades. They tend to have a stronger detent. I don't know if it has something to do with the coating. And the last version, oh, it's in my pocket. The last version on our website is this beautiful purple hard anodized aluminum with satin pivot collars and backspacer and satin hardware and wire clip. All the hardware is titanium on these models except for the wire clip, which is a stainless steel. And this one has a beautiful belt satin hollow ground blade. Beautiful action on this one as well. Has this really cool milling pattern up here and right in here. Plenty of lock bar access for you to drop it like it's hot or disengage it the way you like. We got as much blade in there as we could. Reversible wire clip. It does come with a little plastic piece. I'll show you right now. So the first exclusive is from White Mountain Knives. This is blue hard anodized aluminum. And you'll see it has this little plastic guy under the clip. And every one of the knives should have that. And that's just to protect the aluminum if you're a lefty. So if you're left-handed like me and you want to reverse the clip, you won't leave any marks on the lock side before you do so. This is one I flipped over, and you'll see under here, there might be marks now, but there are none over here because it had the plastic under it until I flipped it, which is very cool. So this is blue hard anodized aluminum, belt satin again, so it's very much like the purple. It's just blue. So for those of you who like blue, there you go. Satin hardware and everything. And this one's only available at whitemountainknives.com. And you can use the code LeftyEDC when you pick it up for 10% off. And with White Mountain, you get free shipping in the United States, which is very cool. And this one came out beautiful. The next one is from bladebinge.com. And they went with a blacked out version. So you have hard anodized black aluminum with teal pivot collar and backspacer. So this is a dark mode nip light from Blade Binge. And again, you have a black washed with PVD 154 cm blade steel, sorry. And this one will come with a extra touch. They have a sticker that they made specifically for their dark mode nip light, and it's a beer can with nip light on it. Kind of looks like a Miller Lite can, and that's very cool. But you'll only get that if you order it from Blade Binge on their website. And again, you can use the code LeftyEDC for 10% off your order. These things are all linked down below for you. I do have affiliate links for some of these. If you use them, it might help. But you can also use anybody else's. Very cool knife. I love the blacked out look. And like I said, we have hardware kits available on our website, DivoKnives.com. We have black, purple, blue, titanium. Those are $25. And then we have Zircuti for $50. Those are just the collars and backspacer for the kits. And we have very limited supply of all of them, and especially of the Zircuti. So they will go fast, and I apologize in advance if you miss out on the Zircuti kits. We were testing that out. Now we know it looks good and everything, so we'll probably, in the future, order more when we place orders. So that's Blade Binge. And the last one of my favorites is the Ultim Nip Light, or the Piss Nip. The Piss Nip Light from traditionalpocketknives.com. Austin over there and his team, awesome people, awesome dealer, and they chose an awesome colorway. You have Smooth Ultim, which is essentially see-through. It is polished to the gills. Every edge is perfectly chamfered and rounded. It just feels amazing. And again, you can see through it. You can watch the stop pin travel as you open and close the knife. Again, very snappy like the others. This one's very lightweight. Again, I think a little lighter than the G10. I could be wrong, but it's more like 2 ounces, 2.2, and then 2.5 on aluminum. It's something like that. Very fun to play with this one. Beautiful belt satin on here as well. So I think all these exclusives are going to go fast, but can't be sure. I never know. But you can pick this one up at traditionalpocketknives.com. And again, use the code LeftyEDC for 10% off. That goes for our website and all the websites. Links are down below. $99 for a beautiful nip light. I am biased, of course, but there you go. Those are dropping today at 1 p.m. Eastern. Get them! I took the day off tomorrow on Friday. Today's Wednesday for me, but in your world, tomorrow, Friday, so that I could ship all the orders. I'm hoping I can get everything done and shipped and everything for Friday, so you guys get them as quickly as possible. I promise to do my best. And you will get these 2 stickers with each knife. You will get a Divo cloth with each knife, and of course, a box. So there you go. Thank you for listening to my pitch on that again. All right, the next one. This one's dropping on August 16th. That's Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. and that is the Berg Blades Tick. T-I-C-K, like the tick on your dog. Very cool. I love this knife. Check out my video on it. I will link the videos for each of these knives. I don't know if the acoustics come through, but it is very, very satisfying acoustically. D10 is wonderful. It just really pops out of there. I love the fuller on here. The hollow ground blade. Again, you have beautiful belt satin. Now, this is OEM'd by Riot. These are OEM by Kubi. I should have mentioned that earlier. Contoured scales with this beautiful inlay. This one is in marbled carbon fiber or shred carbon fiber. Again, you can check out my video. I kind of showed all the versions, but they have full tie versions, and they have inlaid versions with micartas, and then this version. And then there's also a baller version that has some zirconium bits on it, and I believe a Damascus steel blade, and that one's like $600. The standard versions come in around $315 for full tie, and $325 for inlay, I believe. It's possible that micarta is less than marbled or something like that, but they're all in that $315 to $325 range, which I think is wonderful for a Riot build of this caliber. Beautiful design. Matt absolutely killed it on this. You have beautiful jimping here. You have that jimping that actually is on the scales as well, which is really cool. You have this landing pad, very nice details there. I love the clip. It's pretty long, and it has great retention. It's very good in and out of the pocket. Nice deep clip. You don't have much sticking out. The lock bar is smooth as butter, no stick at all. Lockup is money. I mean, this thing is just absolutely fantastic. Riot did an excellent job on this. You can reverse flick it with ease off that fuller. D10 is dialed for all the deployments. I can thumb flick it. Sometimes it's hard on camera. I love the construction. You have two body screws here in the pivot, and those body screws go through the backspacer and into the scale, which is really cool. And then, of course, you have the pivot with two T8s on each side. I guess it's a spinning barrel. I prefer that. I know a lot of people think that a captive barrel is like sort of a necessity. Like there's something lesser about a spinning barrel. But I actually prefer them because I think it gives you more precise construction inside, if that makes sense. You don't have like half a D-shaped barrel on the blade. Because think about it, when you have a D-shaped pivot, now some of them are different than others. Some D-shapes are just a little bit just to get into the notch. Some of them are the full length of the barrel. Some captive pivots are just a little bit different. There's a lot of ways to do it, but there's nothing wrong with this because the way I look at it is you have a circular barrel, the entire length of the pivot. It gives it a very even surface for the blade to ride on. It really limits pivot lash. It gives you great action, usually very smooth. Centering is usually spot on with a pivot like that. So I know some people like the captive look, or they just don't want to deal with two bit drivers, but honestly, I think it's one of the best ways to do a pivot. And all you need is one of these from Skiff Workshop. This is the finger bit, and you just put this in one hand. You can hold it up against the knife on one side and lock that knife down, and then use your driver on this side. That is what this is for. Check it out on skiffworkshop.com. Use my code LeftyEDC for 10% off. But yeah, I love this knife. Matt killed it on it. Pick one up on Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Can definitely recommend it if you like a 3.5-inch knife. I think it's a really compact 3.5 inches. I know that sounds weird, but I thought it was more like 3 1/4. when I got it. Fits the hand really well. There is a choil up here. If you don't have big sausage fingers, it's perfectly fine for me to grip up on. And just a really good cutter, really fun knife. I carried this quite a bit leading up to this video, and I have fallen in love with it. S90V steel, Berg Blades, crushing it as usual. I would recommend you pick this up at traditionalpocketknives.com. So on Thursday or today, you could pick up a piss nip, a nip Lite and Ultim at traditionalpocketknives.com. And then tomorrow, Friday, at 11 a.m. Eastern, you could pick up the Tick at traditionalpocketknives.com. Use my link down below, and that will help the channel. Again, you can use the code LeftyEDC on this one. It will not work on this one. So you could get both of those at Traditional Pocket Knives. But these will also be available at EDC Lifestyle, I believe it's called, and River's Edge Cutlery. And then, of course, at the Berg Blades website. I will link all of those down below. And again, check out my video from the other day going over this knife. But this would be a sick little primary, secondary carry setup right here. So that is the Tick from Berg Blades. Excellent work, Matt. And lastly, or the last knife, I'm going to show you that one other item. The last knife dropping this week is going to be the JWK Knives Venom Jack re-release. This is my beautiful Northwoods Leatherworks Co. slip. It's white ghost leather. I believe it's a brown leather underneath. And then we have this fuchsia sort of pinkish purple stitching, which is really nice. Troy did tell me exactly what this was. I just don't remember off the top of my head. And I don't know how much you guys care about the color underneath the white stuff for the purposes of this video. But it's a beautiful slip. Now, the knife does come with a JWK knife slip. It comes with a beautiful package. I will show that to you. Berg Blades also has nice packaging for the Tick here. It'll come in this right here. And he always sends, at least when I get them, I always get a COA card with a sticker. And then there is also usually a patch in there as well. So just keep that in mind. You get a little bit of schwaggity from Berg Blades. The patches are really nice. I kept it because I've given away all the other ones. I love this patch. It's just super clean. I like that a lot. So you'll get that with the Berg Blades Tick, and the numbering on the knife is inside the backspacer. So right there you can see number 27 of 30 on this version. So very limited in terms of each version. There's just a lot of versions. Not virgins, versions. Here's the JWK Knives packaging. Again, I have a video on this that posted yesterday. And you can check that out, but I just wanted to show you one more time. It's beautiful, beautiful artwork by Jagons. And there's, of course, a pog in here of the same thing. Giant microfiber cloth, a slip, and a couple stickers for you as well. So depending on if you keep all your packaging together, like me, you might be able to use that awesome cloth. But with JWK, I keep them all together. So that's the package, and here is the knife. This is the Venom Jack. Just a beautiful traditional slip joint pattern, but a very modern touch. I actually don't know what this pattern is. Would it be a trapper or something like that? You guys tell me in the comments. I guess normally it has bolsters, so I don't know. But I love this rock pattern on the titanium. It immediately drew me in. It, to me, looks like scales on a snake. So I thought it went perfectly with the Venom design. You have the blade that kind of looks like a fang. It's a Wharncliffe blade. Really nicely done here with the purple accents. I love it very, very much. Been carrying the out of this one. Great walk and talk. Nice pull. We're probably talking about a 7, 7.5. Yeah, I'd probably actually put it at 7.5 on the pull. Very nice, crisp pops. The full tie version does seem to have a little bit more of a muted acoustic. It's still great, but it doesn't quite like have that resonating sound like the ones with the inlays do. But that's a trade-off I would take for this beautiful aesthetic. And there are 4 other versions of this that you can pick up. There's a blue Protect Composites, sort of marbled carbon look. Then there's a red look. I think that's dark matter red. And then there's a Toxic, a blacked out one. It's all blackwash titanium. Obviously blackwash S90V with DLC. And then it has a Toxic camo carbon inlay. That one's really nice for like a user finish. And then there is a dealer exclusive at Blade HQ. I will put a link to that down below, as well as links to the dealers that will have these on drop day. If you use my links, it does help the channel. I would greatly appreciate it, but it's up to you. Blade HQ has one in Rich Light, blue Rich Light, like a dark blue Rich Light. And Rich Light is like paper micarta, essentially. So all you micarta guys out there, you might be loving that version. And then Urban Cutlery will be sending a JWK Knives promotional tumbler, like a tall stainless steel thermal tumbler with each knife purchased, which is pretty damn cool. You'll get that for free from Urban Cutlery. Again, link down below in the description. And one of my other favorite dealers, Traditional Pocket Knives.com, will have these available as well. And these drop Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time at everywhere. Link to all their dealers is also down below. Very cool knife. Really excited for this one. I'm glad to see a slip joint from them again. And especially one of my favorite models. The Venom was my knife of the year for 2022. So 2 of my favorite knife companies are dropping this week. And I guess I should say 3 since I am the co-owner of the 3rd one. But Berg Blades and JWK Knives are a couple of my favorite brands. I love the people behind the brands. And I love the products, the unique designs, the just attention to detail, the quality, the customer service, the customer care, the community-driven companies. There's just a lot to love about both of these brands. And then, of course, you have Divo Knives, which, of course, is a great brand as well. But I, again, co-own this brand, so of course I am biased as hell. But all the goods be dropping this week, guys. It's going to be a very, very interesting couple months because we have a lot of shit coming. And I know JWK has something coming pretty much every month. Berg Blades has been on a roll lately. A lot of companies are doing a lot of stuff. So very cool stuff. Now, the last item I almost forgot about is from Lite. And believe it or not, I know some of you guys don't like Lite. I actually enjoy working with them. They've always been good to the channel. But they have a really cool Kickstarter coming out for not unique, but a different product. It is a compass. So this is an EDC item, I would say. And this is a titanium compass. And the Kickstarter drops tonight, actually, at 9 p.m. So August 15th at 9 p.m., there's a Kickstarter dropping for this. And essentially, it's a titanium compass, really well made. I mean, I got to tell you, I'm not a compass expert or anything, but this feels solid. It's the Otical S2 tie. And there's a really cool feature on it. So it came with this leather necklace thing. You can tell I'm not a Boy Scout or a fisherman. But it also has this sort of screw up here. And what you do is you loosen this guy out, and you can actually free up the different areas, or the different rings, I should say. There's 3 rings on this thing. So I'll show you what I mean. So as I unscrew it, you'll notice they free up. So now this middle ring, the compass, is free spinning. And then you can keep going, and it'll free up the middle ring as well. And now you can actually fidget with this thing. So it basically becomes sort of a de facto fidget toy. I'm sure they'll put that in the advertising because it's cool, you know. But you can spin it around and, you know, watch it do cool stuff. I believe it was modeled after a ancient Greek kind of object. The eye of, what was it? Argato or something like that. I'm actually a history nerd. I've never heard of that, so not sure exactly what that is, but I'm guessing it's Greek. Very cool. I mean, just look at that. And it actually has 2 ways to use it. When you have it open like this, so they call this unlocked, gravity will basically hold the compass. It'll level it out when you hold it like this, right? So you put it in your palm, or you hold it like this where it can spin around or whatever. It will level itself out wherever you're kind of however you're holding it, I suppose. So you'll see right there, it's leveled out. I would always kind of tilt it down like this, but boom, it levels itself out. And now you can use the compass. So you'll see there's northwest, east, south, of course, and there's the other good stuff on there. I'm not an expert, obviously. Again, not a Boy Scout, but I can kind of turn it here towards north. They do have a 3-degree plus minus margin of error. So I want to note that. I forget the reasoning they gave for that, but there is a 3-degree plus minus on that. So just keep that in mind. If somehow you are an expert, you probably have a dedicated tool or GPS or compass, but I think this is kind of cool to have. You know, I could see my kid being into it maybe when she's a bit older. You know, I could hang it off a bag or put it in a travel bag or something. I don't know, just throw it in the car. It doesn't have to be, you know, the most useful thing in the world for me. I'm not somebody who's in the woods needing a compass very often. But as a backup for somebody that is, I think it's kind of cool. It seems to be very well made. Now, you can also lock it down, like I showed you there before, and it kind of stays locked open. You'll see it takes a little bit of effort to turn it, to get it going closed. And I believe that's on purpose so that it can hold that way while you're messing around with it. And then you'll see there, I screwed up. It didn't want to keep going because it's not lined up. There's these holes here that you have to line up. I also want to mention there's these little screws in different areas, area codes, and you just want to make sure those are tight. So if you spin it around a whole bunch, just kind of make sure those are tight every once in a while to be safe. So I like using the actual item to spin it around. Ever since I put that leather strap on there, it's been a little harder to spin the screw by itself. So you can even, yeah, you can just have that one loose if you want. But let's get this guy lined up. There you go. And that will put it into the locked mode. And now you just want to hold it like this when you go to use it, right? Because it won't level itself anymore with gravity, but you can use it like this, okay? And I just think it's really cool. It has some kind of fluid in there. You can see there's like one little bubble moving around. I think they did say those would clear up if you do see them, but yeah. I think it's $54 on the super early bird, if I'm not mistaken. And it is made fully of titanium. So it's well made. It's made of Ti. So, you know, I think it's worth $50. So if you want to check it out, I'll put a link to the Kickstarter down below. It's just an interesting, cool product. I'm glad they sent it to me. They asked me if I wanted to check it out. I said, yeah, you know, I thought it looked interesting. So that is the compass here from Lite or Odical. I believe it was formerly known as Obi. And so I'm not sure exactly who this falls under. I think just Lite or O-Knife, but yeah. So let me know if you guys have any questions, but these are all dropping in the next couple days. And that's it, guys. I love you. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. Go forth and spend your money wisely if you're going to spend it. All right. Hope you have a great day, guys. Peace.